It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise.
Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Carlos Mackey, filling in for Mark Daniels.
Good morning. I'm Duquesa Dean, filling in for Tamika Cartwright.
Today we have a great show for you, and we'll be talking to UB Fit 2025. The NTA is here to discuss job training and business relationships and partnerships with employees, and we'll be hearing about the organization Young Life Bahamas.
Dr. Neil Parker is here to discuss stem cell therapy for arthritis, and we're going to hear about the Farm to Table Dining at the Center for Training and Innovation, also known as CTI, over in Eleuthera. But first, let's check the weather with Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Duquesa. Good morning, Bahamas. And your first look at weather at sunrise. High pressure dominates the weather across the northwest and central Bahamas. A little bit of troughing across the southeastern island, old frontal boundaries, triggering off some cloudiness over the southeastern islands, a couple of showers. So today, lots of sunshine, warm over the northwest and central Bahamas, partly cloudy and warm with a couple of showers over the southeastern islands, high 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, a few patchy clouds over the northwest Bahamas, still partly cloudy at southeastern islands, and nighttime showers possible. We low going down to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados 87 and 77. In Jamaica 1978. In Trinidad 92 and 75. On the Turks and Caicos Islands 86 and 71. Across North America, Atlanta 81 and 47. In Boston 59 and 43. In Miami 77 and 66. Dallas, Texas 85 and 58. And Toronto, Canada 55 and 44. Lovely weekend start weather-wise. That high pressure will dominate the beat across the weekend. Some troughing will form across the southeastern islands on Wednesday. That will elevate the clouds and shower activity, even the possibility of some thunderstorm activity over that area Wednesday into the weekend. Temperature daytime will be in the low 80s, at nighttime upper 60s to lower 70s. That puts roughing first look at the weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Duquesa.
Thanks, Godfrey. This year marks the 8th annual UB Fit, which takes place on Saturday, April 26th. And here to tell us all about it are Candice Weech, UB Fit co-chair, Marcel Major, UB Fit race director, and Carlisle Bethel, manager of finance, marketing, and LAMP at Doctors Hospital. Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Good to be
It
back.
feels like it was just yesterday we were talking about this walk and it's back on already.
It's back.
So Candice, first with you. UB Fit is now in its 8th year and has raised over $450,000 for UB. Why is this fitness fundraiser so important to national development and UB students?
Firstly, thank you for having us. I can't believe we're here at year 8. But UB Fit is now a staple in our community because of the health imperative. Not only are we the tertiary institution in the country, we're also focused on the health imperative. And so UB Fit has brought together corporate companies, friends and family, everyone to say we are going to invest in education and we're going to do it through a fun and meaningful way.
Absolutely. And it's wonderful to see everybody come together to support such a great cause. And so Marcel, you've been a proud supporter of UB Fit since its inception. As race director, working alongside the co-chairs, what can we expect from the race this year?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to thank Candice and her team. We are on our 3rd year of directing the UB Fit, and I guess they say the third time is the charm. Oh. So we're excited and we're happy. So what you can expect, as always, once Four Seasons is involved, I hate to say it that way, but we always try to take your race to another level. From inception, from starting, I remember when I had started the race and I did it as a participant because I also do run. I said, Candice, we got to try to take this race to another level. And eventually I started the business. My wife and I, we started our Four Seasons race management business. And I said, Candice, I'd like to be a part of your event. And she contracted us. And every year the race has a new addition to it to make it more exciting, make it more, it's just a wonderful experience and a wonderful race experience. And this year, it's not going to be any different. It's going to be much better than last year.
That sounds amazing already. And every time we see you, Marcel, you're just like in another race, and in another race. So thank you so much for connecting with Candice for this. So what are the race details, and how can people register, and what's the route, Marcel?
Okay, the race is actually on week after next, after the Easter holiday. It's April 26th. It's Saturday at 6 a.m. It starts at the main entrance of the UB campus, right opposite Scotiabank. It's a 5K, it's a 10K, and also a 15K, which is an unusual distance, but we do have quite a bit of runners that look forward to that particular distance. Now, 5K is 3.1 miles, 10K is 6.2 miles, and the 15K is 9.3 miles. The registration can be done at the Chapter 1 headquarters. It can also be done online. It can also be done on Four Seasons Race Management. There is a cost of $40 for adults and $20 for children. There's a group rate of $10, 10 persons or more. You save $5. So it's a $30 group rate. But it's going to be an exciting event, April 26th. You don't want to miss it. Year 8, last year, year 7 was just phenomenal. So you can imagine what happened last year. So what we're going to do different this year. So come on, make sure you register.
Yes. And I know that the Doctors Hospital here is your title sponsor. Why was this important for you as an organization to support this event?
Well, first off, we want to thank UB Fit and UB for their wonderful event, their wonderful initiatives. And for us at Doctors Hospital, we believe that prevention is better than cure. And we know that one of the best ways to stay healthy is just to move your body, right? Get up, get active. And so we find ways to partner with community initiatives, and what better way than to work with UB with their 8-year this wonderful initiative of UB Fit. So we're excited to be community partners to assist people in living a healthy life and achieving their wellness goals.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Awesome.
And so Candice, just hearing Carlisle talk about why they are supporting your event, how important is it for corporate organizations to consider sponsorship, and are you seeking sponsorship for this event?
Without Corporate Bahamas, this would not be possible. You know, they help to cover the expenses, but also invest back into the University of the Bahamas. I'm so grateful for Dr. Digges and for Carlisle and the entire team at Doctors Hospital for saying, we believe in you and we're going to support this. I have to give a shout out also to some of our corporate sponsors, because without them, we could not do this. Our platinum sponsor is Baker Tilly. Our gold sponsors are Island Luck, Commonwealth Bank, and Fidelity Bank. Our bronze sponsors are Shell Western Supply and Trading Limited. We also have Deloitte, J.S. Johnson, BWA, Commonwealth Brewery, Nassau Agencies, Bahamas First, NUA, Caribbean Bottling, John Bull, Alive, Thompson Trading, Walk-in Clinic, and BTC. So as you can see, this is very much supported. And all the money goes right back to the University of the Bahamas. So I cannot say thank you enough for everyone that has donated, supported. You can still come on board, and you need to register your team for next Saturday.
Absolutely. And so Marcel, when people think about walks, or they think about getting up early in the morning and coming out, if you're not an avid runner or a walker, that could be a deterrent. So what would you say to people who may want to, come out and support the event, but they're thinking about that 6 o'clock start time?
Well, like I always say, movement is medicine. So you want to get up and just come out. There are many different ways that you can support the event. You can come out, just walk, just a leisurely walk, because this race takes you along the shoreline of West Bay Street. So that in itself, just that breath of fresh air, it's a good motivation for you to get up. 6 o'clock, some people get up. This is what I normally say to people. If I ask somebody to register for an event, I can't run 3 miles. I say, how long do you stay in the mall? Do you know if you're in the mall, you walk at least 4 or 5 or 6 miles
right
up and down that mall. So if you could do it in the mall, you could get up 6 o'clock and just take a leisurely walk along one of these races that we have and come on to the UB Fit race.
We also
Absolutely.
have a virtual component.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
great.
of the pandemic, we had to adjust our race model. So Friday, you can walk it on your own, run it on your own. We have people, shout out to Virginia Balance and her husband Peter Fletcher, who go on the lake and they row.
Okay.
They row them out. So there's so much you can do. You can bring your pets, you can bring your kids in strollers. This is a family-friendly, pet-friendly event.
Awesome. And so, Kalala, as you think about the fact that we have an obesity crisis in the Bahamas at the moment, what encouragement would you give people? I know you heard movement is life, but what encouragement would you give people to make that sacrifice and support this cause?
The encouragement I would give is to take control of your health. And there are things that you can do. You can get your annual physicals. You can go to outpatient clinics throughout the country to find out where your health is at, and then you can do things like go walking. You can walk along the shoreline. There are things that people have, the tools and resources available to them to take their health under control. And Doctors Hospital, through programs like the Loyalty Advantage membership program, our outpatient clinics, our affordable annual physicals, we try to give people those tools. And of course, we use our corporate responsibility to assist initiatives like UB Fit to help people to take on those challenges and take their health under control.
Man, it sounds like it's going to be an amazing event. It's
Yeah.
for a great cause. It's for taking personal responsibility for your health and having these options available for you to stay healthy. I wish you all the best. Good
Thank you.
registration. All the former UB students and CLB
Yes.
students
Yes.
to come out and support this event. Thank you again for being here on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you for
We'll
having
be
us.
right back.
For over half a century, we've been more than just an airline. We've been a bridge, connecting families, dreams, and memories across the islands and beyond. Behind every seat sold and every journey planned, there's a dedicated team committed to making air travel affordable and accessible to everyone. At Bahamas Air, we're not just building connections, we're building a safe and dependable airline where quality service is paramount and an excellent travel experience is our priority. Wherever you're going, we're here to take you there with care, with heart, and with the promise of unforgettable journeys. We are family, and just like family, we're committed to taking care of our own. Your Bahamas Air is our Bahamas Air, because here at Bahamas Air, we don't just fly here, we live here.
I can't believe how big Christopher's gotten. He'll soon be ready for college.
Not at the rate I'm going. I'm praying for an athletic scholarship.
It's never a bad time to start saving. I just started Nicole on a college savings plan. I have options based on her age. It contains a mix of stocks, bonds, however you choose.
Mommy, come push me.
I'm coming.
Girl, how do you know all of this? What's Leno?
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can save lives. That's why Alive Business brings you bulk SMS messaging, your essential tool for staying informed and safe. Imagine having critical updates and safety tips delivered right to your phone, anytime and anywhere. With bulk SMS messaging, you can send real-time alerts and updates and timely notifications. When every second counts, count on Alive Business bulk SMS messaging. For more information, contact the experts.
As a professional graphic artist, I work from anywhere in the world. When I travel, I try to keep up with my paperwork and bills as much as possible. Utilizing NIB's ESS, or Employee Self-Service Portal, to submit my monthly payments and to upload my contribution statement makes life easier. The portal is pretty easy to use too. I consider it to be user-friendly. It asks all the necessary questions to guide me through uploading my contribution statement, and I like that it calculates my payments. The NIB representative who showed me how to use the portal, she was patient, friendly, and knowledgeable. I used to fill out my contribution statement manually and visit an NIB office every month to make payments. But now the ESS portal allows for the entire process to be completed online in a time-efficient manner. Like, yay, thank you, that's done. You should sign up today at ess@nib-bahamas.com.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Joining us now from the National Training Agency are Ione Hepburn, who is the Registration Manager and Assistant to the Executive Director, and Brian Raming, the Soft Skills Facilitator and the Tutor Assessor for Food and Beverage Training. Ione, Brian, welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Indeed. Tell us today about the job training programs, Ione, that the NTA offers, and how do we help prepare individuals for the workforce at the NTA?
Well, thank you for asking. Our job training is the second phase of our mandatory workforce preparation program. And this is important simply because it allows the students or the trainees to get I guess you could say, a snippet of what jobs are out there and how they can transfer those skills into the workforce. This is important because persons like Brian here help them to go through the process of learning how to do food and beverage.
Absolutely.
We have culinary and baking. We have allied health. We have, let's say, business administration. And there's a few others. The thing about this is important not just for the trainees. We do our best to help them prepare. But what we want out there is for those persons who see us doing our best to say, hey, send those students, send those trainees to us because we recognize that they have some skills and we want to help upskill and help transfer them into our businesses. And so that's what we want to do.
Excellent. Brian, tell us, who can apply for training at the NTA?
Listen, there is absolutely no one being left behind at the NTA. It doesn't matter in terms of your academic accomplishments. We welcome all as we seek to more or less provide individuals with the necessary skills throughout those various disciplines. And so individuals, of course, our young adults are more than welcome to apply, and often we have had individuals from the age of 17 to 26 actually engage in the program. And so again, it provides definitely an opportunity for all individuals, no matter their academic accomplishments.
Good stuff. How does the NTA, Ione, work with employers to ensure training programs meet industry standards? Because I know that's a big thing. It's one thing to be trained, but it's another thing to be trained to the standard of a particular industry. How do you ensure that that happens?
Well, first and foremost, we make sure that our job providers are NACORP accredited. So to make sure that they have all of the, I guess, the requirements that is required by Ministry of Education and NACORP, the government governing body of qualifications. Once that happens, we can make sure now that when we call these people in, these job trainers, these job providers, people like Synergy, Dr. Adley, you have Dr. Fackerson, these persons, when we call them in, we know that if you are training on allied health, that there are certain things that somebody in that field should have. So we help to work with that provider to provide what that is. When we call someone like Teacher's Aid, Dr. Fackerson, we know that you've been in education all these years, so you know what is missing, what is needed in the school system, and so you know what to do. When we call Mr. Leslie from Synergy, he knows technology. He's been in this business for years, and so he knows what it is that somebody who is going to have a certification or a certificate in business administration, what they need to have. And so this is how we make sure that those students, those trainees, have what it takes to do what they need in the workforce.
Indeed. Brian, I know you've been in industry a long time. Why are these partnerships important for us to be able to say we have the right partnerships at the NTA, making sure that the training is what it needs to be?
Absolutely. Before I responded, I would say that I am so appreciative of the NTA for allowing me to partner with the program itself. I see great significance to it. So, of course, Ms. Hepburn, Madam Chair, and the rest of the team, I certainly thank them. Considering that the Bahamas, we have a GDP of, I would say, perhaps 70% based on tourism. All jobs, if not directly in tourism, is impacted by tourism. And it's important for us to begin to deposit to individuals the importance of not only the skill set required in food and beverage or other disciplines, but also using their number one skill, which is the people skills. And so when you look at a program, particularly what I run at the NTA for Food and Beverage, while we concentrate on table manners, table etiquette, and setting up tables, we also seek to empower individuals with knowledge in terms of cultural sensitivity, dealing with perhaps the allergy concerns, having great knowledge as far as the product is concerned, so that they can be more effective in terms of service around the table. And so this is very critical as our demand within the industry have grown over the years. And so what the NTA seek to do is provide now those individuals with some level of skill set so that they'll be able to perform efficiently within the workplace.
Ione, tell us about some of the example of the other training opportunities that the NTA offers in order for persons to be able to enhance their skill set and career opportunities.
Okay, so outside of this particular program that we're talking about, which is called the Mandatory Workforce Preparatory Program, we also have ILM. And ILM is a program, of course, where persons who are already working, they want to be, if they are supervisors or managers and want to kind of level up, they can definitely go there and they get that. And that is certified by City and Guilds.
So upskilling is available at the NTA.
Yes. Now, there's also what we are trying to bring on board, and this is something new. What we find that every time there is a registration for a mandatory program, there are always more persons than we can truly take, whether it is because these persons are not in that 16 to 26 range, or they're already working, or whether there's another reason we can't take them. So what we have decided to do is still find a way to give some training to these persons. So coming on stream soon will be what we haven't decided the name quite yet, but what we will be doing is doing some sort of leveling up for those persons, whether through customer service, communication, attitude, performance, those kind of things, so that you can come in, do a one-day training with us, and while you don't get the benefit of the 14 weeks that we offer, you get to move from where you are to where we believe you and the industry believe that you need to be. And so that's what we want to do soon.
So tell us, how can people find out more about the programs and partnerships at the NTA?
Well, all you have to do is go on our website, which is ntabahamas.org, or you can email us at ntaregisternow@bahamas.gov.bs, or you just walk in. I mean, that's always the best way.
Where is your office?
Our office is on Gladstone Road and Munnings Road.
Excellent.
So just come in, ask. We have something for just about everybody.
Indeed. And Brian, very quickly, why would you encourage any young Bahamian or any aspiring professional to be involved with the NTA? Looking back at your career, why would you encourage them?
Considering that, I am a perfect example of starting at the entry level and having risen to the managerial capacity within the organizations that I've actually been affiliated with. We have individuals who have passed through the NTA program today who are successful entrepreneurs. We have individuals who have passed through the NTA program prior to their one-week internship was hired on the spot. We have produced productive citizens at the NTA. And so, what our message is, no matter what the past look like, we have a bright future for you at the NTA.
Indeed. Ione Hepburn, Registration Manager and Assistant to the Executive Director, and Brian Ramming, Soft Skills Facilitator and Tutor Assessor for Food and Beverage at the NTA. Thank you both for being here with me on Bahamas at Sunrise this morning.
Thank you for having us.
We'll be right back.
How important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
African Things is your one-stop shop for everything African. Make a bold fashion statement with vibrant colors and intricate patterns inspired by the beauty of Africa. Find trendy contemporary looks for every occasion and enjoy custom tailoring. Shop jewelry, purses, art, cosmetics, and much more. African Things is located in the Dugard Plaza, Palmdale, next to McDonald's. Open Tuesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come get your African Things.
At Simplified Lending, we know that your time is precious, so we've unscrambled the loan process, making it fast and hassle-free. You can have your answer in as little as 24 hours. When you qualify, we simplify. We are the best borrowing solution for tuition, home renovation, vacation loans, emergency medical expenses, purchasing a vehicle, and for business expansion loans. Simplified Lending for simplified living. Call us today or find us in the R&D Plaza on JFK Drive.
Welcome back. This morning we're joined by rheumatologist Dr. K. Neil Parker to discuss the orthopedic treatment gap and new therapies. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, DeQuesta. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Great, it's good to have you. So tell us first of all, what is the orthopedic treatment gap?
Well, in the community, there are a number of patients who have complaints, arthritis primarily, that require treatment that is they're either unfit for surgery, they are unable to have surgery, or they're simply not desirous of surgery, and then they would have failed the more conservative management like physiotherapy in combination with pain medication. And so for these patients, there's there have not been traditionally a lot of treatments, and they've basically been suffering in silence. And so that represents what I would consider what is known as the orthopedic treatment gap.
Okay. So what is regenerative medicine and its role?
Okay, so regenerative medicine is a relatively new approach to treatment, where in medicine we are recognizing increasingly that God is smarter than us. And so what we try to do is align our treatments with the way the body actually heals. Okay. And so what we do is essentially use cells and tissue from patients' own bodies to actually promote healing and initiate pain relief.
Okay, that's a really smart way to do it, going back to God's way.
That's
it's
right.
smart to do it. So we're talking about orthopedic treatment gap and regenerative medicine as it relates to arthritis.
Correct.
So what causes arthritis?
Well, arthritis is basically anything that causes joint damage, swelling, or pain can lead to arthritis. Now, the most common type of arthritis is what you call osteoarthritis, which is primarily what you would consider a wear and tear phenomenon, where just like a car, you buy a car, you put the car on the road, no matter how good the car is, when you buy it, eventually there's going to be issues, the CV joint, this or that.
That's a great way, a great analogy,
Yes,
like a car running down to like a body having those same symptoms. So how does platelet-rich plasma, or PRP, work, and how does it help?
So basically, the cells that heal or drive healing in your body, there are two main actors. One, the platelet, which is constantly in circulation in the blood, and the other would be adult stem cells, which are located throughout the body, but in high concentrations in fat and bone marrow. Okay. So when you get injured, let's say you get a cut on your skin, for example, you get the bleeding, and then you get the formation of a clot, and beneath the clot, the platelets come, they release their contents, the clot falls away, and you get new skin.
Okay.
Tissues of the body, like the joints, the bone, the muscle, the tendons, don't have the circulation that, say, a skin has. So what we are able to do is to perform a biohack. We take the cells from the circulation, concentrate them, and then inject them with ultrasound guidance precisely where they need to be to transfer that healing reaction to wherever in the body we would want it, whether it's the rotator cuff tendon, whether it's the knee joint, whether it's a joint in the spine. And so we essentially can augment healing and pain relief in that way.
Okay, and that's by using stem cells?
Well, when we call adult stem cells in particular, or mesenchymal stem cells, fancy word, are distributed throughout the body. They're called also known as parasites. They're found in high concentrations in the fat and in the bone marrow. So we can do micro lipoaspirations, or we can do a bone marrow aspiration, and then with gentle processing, we can produce a tissue specimen that is rich in these stem cells. And then we can, like with the platelets, we can inject them into rotator cuff tendons, injured tendons, and in joints. And then over a 1 to 3 month period, we can get significant amounts of pain relief.
Okay.
And in the case of certain tendons, you can actually heal them.
All right. So those are the benefits already of the PRP and stem cells?
Well, yes, the benefits would be that for many of the patients, you get significant pain relief. You're talking about, with the platelets, you're talking about 6 months to 2 years of pain relief. And with stem cells, anywhere from 2 to 5 years of pain relief.
Okay. Now, this is the first time I'm hearing that fat is good for something.
Well, yes. Well, other than cooking, yes. So,
right, because I mean, fat is
well, you would think intuitively, correct. Intuitively, you would think that it's a bad thing, but the good thing about it is that most of us are not short of fat, so you get
so you have enough.
Correct. You have in your body a tissue that is actually rich in healing potential.
Okay.
And so it is increasingly becoming a way of people are turning to get pain relief. And so you have people who are living with chronic pain, and an injection of their own fat cells, which is rich in stem cells, can actually produce pain relief in the knee joint. So, for example, they have patients who have the quote-unquote torn meniscus. Rather than getting a surgery, or rather than living in pain, you can get an injection of your own stem cells, and that can bring about a permanent resolution to that, most times combined with physiotherapy.
And so these particular treatments are available here in the Bahamas?
Yes, they're actually in-office, same-day procedures. I do them at my office at Palmdale Medical.
Okay.
And so, yes, right here in the Bahamas, you can get these stem cell therapies or platelet-rich plasma therapy.
So when you say in-office treatments, like there's no surgery, it's
No.
like an injection?
A needle, I say a needle, not a knife.
Okay.
So it's just an injection that takes them out, and an injection to put them back in.
Okay. And are people open to these sorts of treatments?
Oh yes, these are treatments that are increasingly becoming mainstream.
Okay.
This is what I would consider cutting-edge therapy. Many of the patients are traveling to get these procedures, but you can get them right here at home.
Okay.
These are the procedures that have extended the careers of people like Kobe Bryant, Rafael Nadal. They're now becoming more mainstream, and the general population is now turning to these options for alternatives. Many patients simply don't wish to have surgeries or don't want to delay a surgery. For example, if you have a knee joint that's going to be replaced at some point, if you would rather wait 5 years, we can give you those 5 years.
Great. Well, Dr. Parker, it was such a wonderful discussion with you this morning. I learned a lot from our conversation. Thank you for being here on Bahamas at Sunrise and for letting us know that these therapies actually exist. And we appreciate it.
You're quite welcome.
We'll be right back.
Hey family! Step into sophistication at Dash Designer Boutique, number 13 Parliament Street. There you'll find a wide array of colorful, elegant fashion for ladies. Shop brand name clothing and shoes such as McDougall, Bashley Mishka, Sam Elderman, Jeffrey Campbell, and Jessica Simpson. We've got you covered for the office, date night, red carpet events, and more. Also check out our stunning accessories. That's Dash Designer Boutique, number 13 Parliament Street. Open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. We have got more great stuff coming for you in the second half. We'll be hearing about the organization Young Life Bahamas.
And we're also going to be hearing about the farm to table dining at the Center for Training and Innovation, CTI, over in Eleuthera. But before all of that, let's take a second look with weather with Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Dick Weston. Good morning, Bahamas. Your second look at weather at sunrise. High pressure continue to be the dominant across the northwest and central Bahamas. Some troughing at the old frontal boundary is triggering off partly cloudy skies with a couple of showers over southeastern islands. In the marine forecast today, winds northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas, 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the southeastern islands. On Tuesday, those winds are light and variable, seas 1 to 3 for northwest Bahamas, but northeast to east at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Then on Wednesday, the winds continue light and variable, seas 1 to 3 northwest Bahamas, northeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Year tides. You can expect a high tide at 9:48 this morning. The next low tide will be 3:31 this afternoon. High gain tonight at 9:31. Sunset 7:30 this evening. Rising at 6:47. UV index 8. Your water temperature 77 degrees Fahrenheit. And the moon phase full moon. Your extended look. That high pressure will dominate throughout the week with lots of sunshine, warm temperature in northwest and central Bahamas. Some troughing across the southeastern islands, of course, some cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms Wednesday through Friday. Low temperature daytime will be in the low 80s. At nighttime, upper 60s to lower 70s. That pressure will fall. Look at the weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Carlos.
Thanks, Godfrey. With me now are Shel Stubbs, Chair of Management, Committee and Action Team, and Tara Brista, Area Director of New Providence, and they are here to tell us more about the organization Young Life Bahamas. Ladies, good morning. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Ms. Stubbs, what is Young Life Bahamas?
So Young Life Bahamas is an organization that's connected to an international organization that's in 100 countries, created in 1941 in the U.S., and the goal is to reach every adolescent for Christ. Mm-hmm. We started in the Bahamas 21 years ago in Grand Bahama, Long Island and then Grand Bahama, but we started in Nassau 10 years ago. So we've been in Nassau 10 years, in the high schools, ministering to kids.
Excellent, excellent. Ms. Brista, what kind of work do you guys do at Young Life Bahamas?
So some of the things that we do is we host what we call clubs within schools and communities, and that looks like, we call it controlled chaos, where kids get to come in, be themselves, have fun, an environment where we do games, music, skit, the whole 9 yards, and then at the end we do like a conversational style talk about Christ. And every summer we take kids to camp where they get to come out of their everyday environment and spend a week or weekend, because we also have college students, and they get to enjoy life, like enjoy being kids, being who they are.
Best week of their life.
Yeah, that's what we call it, the best week of their lives. So we get to do those things. We get to develop new ministries and new schools, new communities, new islands, because we're in Grand Bahama, we're in Eleuthera, we're in Nassau, and we're praying to develop in some other islands as well. So
excellent. So, Ms. Stubbs, you spoke about the history of Young Life. Mm-hmm. Tell us, how did the organization get started globally, but also the origins of Young Life here in the Bahamas?
So globally, in the U.S., one seminary student wanted to get introduced to kids in his neighborhood, and he prayed around the high school because he wanted to be able to go to that high school and do contact work and see if he can connect the kids. Young Life's mission is really about kids that would never come to church. So these are not just church kids. These are kids that would not want to be in church. And so he started around high schools. And we've adopted that model in the Bahamas as well. We started doing contact work at our high schools. In Nassau, 10 years ago, we started at CC Sweeting and made connections. I went into CC Sweeting with a group of my friends, and we taught them about money, actually. And that was the connection that we made with CC Sweeting. And when we were ready to start Young Life, we had a relationship with the administration, and they were happy to allow it as a new club in the school.
Indeed, indeed. Ms. Umbrista, talk to us about who benefits really from the services that you provide, because we know that there are young people that you're trying to reach, but talk about who benefits, not just the young people, but what are all of the things, or what are all of the benefits from the services that you provide?
Well, it's holistic. Like you mentioned, not only the young people benefit, but the community benefit as well. Because one of the things we do is we don't only feed them spiritually, but we also find ways that we can help them in everything. So a lot of our kids who've come through us, we try to get them into colleges or help them find jobs. And like she mentioned, these are kids who wouldn't go to church, and some people would call them like the roughnecks or what's not. And sometimes we help to steer them in the right way, you know, which means they become a part of citizens who develop and help in their community. So it's a holistic view of how we do things. So we try to get them into schools if that's the route they want to do, or good jobs, you know, working citizens in the community. So.
Indeed. Tell me something about the initiatives and the events that you have coming up, because you guys said you do summer camp and you claim that it's the best week of their lives. So talk to us more about the events and initiatives you have coming up for your organization this year here in the Bahamas.
Okay, so we just had Growth Camp, which is kids who've already met the Lord and they wanted to come back and consider to serve as leaders or as service leaders. And so now we're getting ready for camp, which is the summer. But prior to that, we're going to have a fundraiser and actually Walk for Hope. It's an initiative that's throughout the Caribbean and Latin America. So for 15 days, May 1st to the 15th, we pray for kids, Caribbean and Latin America. And we walk around the schools and pray in those neighborhoods. And of course, we try to fundraise for the camp, which happens in July. And so this is not just in the Bahamas. LAC, Latin American Caribbean region, is actually doing Walk for Hope at the same time. These first 15 days of May, and the goal is to kind of get people to know who we are, meet kids, pray for around the schools, and then of course, if we can get donations to help them come to camp in July, that's one of the goals as well.
How can individuals, organizations, even corporate Bahamas help you with the goal of fundraising and being more effective for the kids?
So we do have some corporate sponsors now. We are so grateful for them. Every year for camp, we have food sponsors by Kentucky and Marco's, and we've had Abaco Markets as well. And we've had a lot of corporate sponsors giving money. Some of the banks have given us money. So we do have some corporate sponsors that have said, okay, we want these kids to go to camp. And so we're so grateful. We need more, of course, because most of these kids cannot afford it. Camp costs about $300 for the week. And most of them cannot.
So can individuals say, you know, I want to sponsor a kid?
Yes, we do have some individuals who send, I can name a few, that's every month they put money into the account to say, I wanted to send these 5 kids to camp.
Excellent.
And so we do have individuals doing that. We have corporate sponsors as well.
Indeed. And how can people get in contact with you guys at Young Life Bahamas?
So we're on social media.
Sorry, I do apologize. But yes, it is Young Life Bahamas.
Yes. Yeah. So we have social media accounts. We have Facebook, TikTok, Instagram.
So
and
Young Life Bah, so Young Life, BAH, or you can send an email to younglifenassau@gmail.com. younglifenassau242@gmail.com.
Okay. Final question I'll ask, because I'm dating myself a bit, but as a kid growing up in the 90s, I know that Sunday school and vacation Bible school was a big thing. I think I was probably among the last generation of kids where that was almost kind of mandatory, or at least most of my friends and I did that. What is the impact of that not being a part of our culture anymore, and how is Young Life helping to deal with that?
And you hit the nail on the head. It's not a part of our culture anymore. We had parents who wanted kids to go to, who were in church and wanted their kids to go to church. That's not our reality in this situation now, especially in the lower socioeconomic parts of the Bahamas, Baintown, Chippenham, the areas where C.C. Sweet and T.A. Thompson, those schools, a lot of those kids are not church kids. Their parents are not working so hard or whatever and not thinking church is an important part of life. And so that's where we step in. We try to fill in the gap, and we want to make contact with the kids and try to see if we can help them get across the street, so to speak. So we are those friends that want to help them find Jesus and help them find a better way, because parents are not doing it, honestly.
Yeah,
Indeed.
and to tag along with that, we are an extension to the family in the sense. So when we build these relationships with kids, and she mentioned Growth Camp. Growth Camp would have been students who came to camp last year and they want to serve, right? These were kids either who weren't believers and they gave their life to Christ during that process, or they were believers and they want to go a little bit deeper. And then these kids now, we hold their hands, we walk with them, and sometimes they end up coming to churches that we attend or other churches that they attend, and we've seen where whole families' lives have been changed by the fact that their kid was saved. And then because of their child being saved, coming to church, the family has become, a part of that as well. So.
Indeed. Well,
The kid
thank
leading
you.
the mom.
Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed. The Bible says, and a child shall lead them, eh? Ladies, thank you so much for telling us about Young Life Bahamas. I'm excited to hear more about it and see more of the work that you guys are doing in the community.
No problem. And we also brought you a gift.
Excellent.
So it's a Young Life tumbler. Well, would you call this a tumbler?
Well, whatever it is, I'm going to be using it, so I'll be advertising Young Life Bahamas, so we can see if we can get you guys some more sponsorship.
Thank you so much.
Indeed. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll be right back.
All right, good job, ladies.
Oh yeah, the mic.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, local international banks that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together, or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Welcome back. At the Center for Training and Innovation, also known as CTI, a part of the Wani Luther Foundation, farm-to-table dining is more than just a concept. It is a way of life. We had the opportunity to learn more about CTI's inspiring farm-to-table program. Here's that story.
Good morning, Bahamas at sunrise, and welcome to beautiful Rock Sound, Eleuthera. We are preparing for the 13th annual Eleuthera Business Outlook. We're here at the CTI campus, powered by One Eleuthera Foundation. And I have my colleague, Dr. Salima Harbour, here with me, and we are going to introduce you to our farming production, as well as this amazing we call the Oasis Grow House. Salima, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to have Bahamas at sunrise here.
I know, right? Isn't it good to be able to bring the audience in so they could see some of the wonderful work that we're doing here in Eleuthera?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit in our audience, a little bit about this structure, Salima, and why it's so important to food security.
So the Oasis Grow House is the first of its kind in the Bahamas. It's a retractable roof cooling house. Now, typically when people think of plants growing within a structure, they may automatically say greenhouse. But here in the Bahamas, we really don't have a need for greenhouses because greenhouses are meant to trap heat, keep warmth, and amplify sunlight. But here in the Bahamas, we have plenty of both. We actually need to protect the plants from too much light and too much heat. So the retractable roof cooling house does just that. When it's too hot and the sun has been out and intense for too long, we close the shade and the plants get a little reprieve. If it's raining, the roof closes and we protect them from rains. So the importance of this structure is that it provides a unique growing environment, optimizing the climate for the plants whatever we want them to experience.
That's incredible. And you know, Salima, what I love about this structure as well is that it's hurricane resilient. Tell us what happens if those wind speeds exceed a Category 2. What does this structure do to protect the contents and itself?
So one challenge that Bahamian producers have had since time immemorial is the risk that storms present to their crops. Unfortunately, we do not have crop insurance as other countries do. So if a storm were to come through after a crop has been planted and has already begun growing and destroys the crop, the farmer loses everything. The Oasis retractable roof cooling house provides protection up to a Category 2 storm. So in the event that that occurs, the roof closes, the walls close, and we are able to protect the crop. If a storm is more powerful though, the roof opens, the walls open, allowing the wind to blow through so we do not lose the structure. So shortly after an intense storm, a Category 3 storm or higher, we will be able to resume production as usual.
Of course, and that means feeding people on Eleuthera and in the country, which really is critical. Tell us about what it's been like since we've introduced these delicious fresh greens into the community. What has the reaction been like? I know you've told me that you've gotten notes from people, you've gotten comments. What have they liked most about what we're producing?
That certainly is one of the most rewarding parts of my job. Hearing the feedback from our customers, from restaurants, resorts, hotels, grocers, and even the homeowner that comes and purchases directly from our restaurant. They are extremely grateful to have access to such fresh produce, in many instances harvested just 24 hours before they receive it. So they are appreciating its quality, its taste, and its durability. Many people have said, your lettuce lasts for 2 weeks in my refrigerator and I'm able to enjoy all of it. Some people have even said, you've really improved my health status because I'm able to eat more vegetables and I've lost significant amounts of weight. So it's definitely been a big plus for the island here in Eleuthera, and we are grateful to be able to provide such high quality vegetables.
Yes, and I agree, and I'm one of those people, I love our salads. Like, I am spoiled. I know my opinion might be a little biased, but I trust everyone else that said the same thing about what we grow here. Another important aspect of what happens in this facility is farmer training and increasing the capacity of local Eleuthera farmers. Can you tell us about some of the cohorts that have run through here and some of the students that have been able to benefit from your expertise?
Well, here at the Center for Training and Innovation, we offer training in a number of areas, and farming is one of them. Introduction to hydroponics. We have 2 different hydroponic systems running here. We have deep water culture and Beto buckets. And aspiring farmers, young people and old people alike, are able to come and see our production systems and learn from us all of the years of data that we've collected on how to produce well in our climate using these various production systems, to come and learn and jumpstart their careers in agriculture.
Thank you for that, Salima. So where are we off to next?
Why don't we harvest some lettuce and take it to the packing house and maybe go to the restaurant?
Perfect. Let's do that. Right. So Salima, we're here in the packing house. We've brought over our delicious mixed lettuce and they look so beautiful. We have cherry tomatoes fresh off the farm. So tell me what happens in our audience. What happens in this space? What is the next step in the farm to table process?
So once the produce is harvested from the grow house, they come here to chill out a little bit and be packaged, processed. If washing needs to happen, they're washed. And this is also the spot where we prepare all of our orders to go out to restaurants, grocery stores, and resorts from Harbor Island all the way to Cape Eleuthera.
And how much produce would you say runs through the packing house every week?
Hundreds of pounds. Hundreds of pounds. We harvest hundreds of pounds of tomatoes, over 100 pounds of lettuce mix, over 100 pounds of lettuce heads. So it's a tremendous amount of vegetables.
And what is our best seller?
Our best seller is this mixed baby lettuce right here. And we are going to bag this in retail bags to go into the restaurant.
And how do our prices compare with other products that are on the island, whether they're imported or locally grown?
Our prices are very competitive because the lettuce and the other vegetables are harvested so fresh. They have a tremendous shelf life. So the consumer loses no product to spoilage. So in the end, it comes out cheaper.
Well, that's wonderful. I know that when I shop here in Eleuthera locally, I'm often asked, what's Salima growing next and what's on the farm because I want to order. So that's really exciting. And I'm so happy for the retailers and our residents that are able to enjoy this product. We're going to take this over to the Farm to Table restaurant next.
Yes.
And we're going to see what is the next step in bringing this delicious, nutritious produce to the consumer.
Thank you.
Welcome. Ooh, this looks tasty.
Lovely, yes.
And your plate is so colorful. Look at all of those vibrant colors.
The rainbow.
I'm telling you, isn't it cool to be able to just harvest straight off of the farm, bring it over here to Farmer's Table, and enjoy the fruit of our labor?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, Salima, what are some of the health benefits of incorporating more veggies and more nutritious food into our diets?
Well, Yolanda, as you know, as a country, we are struggling with a lot of non-communicable diseases. And simply eating more fruits and vegetables daily, we can reduce our risks.
All right, excellent. And you know, it could just start with a salad a day, right?
A salad a day, a salad at every meal.
A salad a day keeps the doctor away. I agree. Well, thank you for joining us at Bahamas at Sunrise. It's been a pleasure. I'm Yolanda Pawar.
And I'm Dr. Salima Halber.
Stay tuned. We'll be back after this break.
One thing, two things, little thing, all things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
This morning's show was educational, exciting, and entertaining. It was wonderful to hear about what's coming up at UB Fit.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah. And I had a good time with Young Life Bahamas. That was very good, especially as a Sunday school / vacation Bible school kid.
Absolutely.
Very, very good to
when
hear from
when there wasn't a choice.
Listen, we need to not make it as much of a choice as it has become over the years.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
And I learned that my fat that's sitting on my stomach can be used for stem cell and treatment of arthritis. So that was good to learn with Dr. Parker.
Indeed. And the NTA, my good friend Brian Raming, as well as Miss Ione. It was good to see Brian again. I think we both worked with him
Yes,
over the way,
yes,
right?
we did. Yes, it was good to see him.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
And just learning about the fresh food that's available, the fresh salads and farm to table with CTI. It's such an encouragement to get us out there, perhaps even growing our own food.
Boy, I would hope to start growing, but I'll encourage those that do grow, because being out in the sun is a little bit rough sometimes, as you can tell.
Well, you know what? Your dark is beautiful, and it was
Thank
great
you.
being here co-hosting with you this morning.
Thank you. It has been good seeing you as well. Thank you, Bahamas. Again, we are the best country in the world, but we can't just talk about it. Let's be about it. Take care, everyone.
Have a great week.